you like to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Sure. I'm going to summarize them. We met on Thursday, September 19th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. Meeting was called to order by Sharon. The directors present were Carol, Terry, Sharon, Nassad, Nancy, and Edna was absent. Colleen Fletcher of CNS also attended. Colleen read the minutes of the previous two meetings. A motion was duly made and seconded by Carol Bloodsworth to accept both sets of minutes as presented. Reports. Beautification Committee. Ruby Peterson provided a report from the most recent beautification meeting. It was determined that Peter will be working on the green fence. The signs at the 59th will be worked on and a proposal will be obtained. Peter Wallace provided an outline for plantings in the cutouts between clusters 3 and 4 and 4 and 5. The committee has approved such proposal. Social Committee, no report. Cluster 1 report, Carol Bloodsworth reported she was having several repairs made around her cluster by Island Maintenance. Cluster 2, Sharon Villers reported that the roof leak has been repaired and the lights on the building are in the process of being repaired. Terry Lane explained that she is in the process of obtaining pressure washing proposals. Additional quotes are needed for the header that needs to be replaced. Repairs to the carport 6122 is needed, and a letter should be sent to 6146 for unauthorized occupants. Sharon Villers reported that HOA painting will be back out to repair the areas that are coming up on the landings. The McCurdy's have donated $100 to the Beautification Committee. Cluster 5, Nancy McFadden discussed proposals from Island Maintenance in regards to stair repairs. It was agreed that additional proposals are needed. Nassad reported that work was needed on the carport lights. The pool sign needs to be replaced, and there was an irrigation pipe that was broken and has been fixed. Sharon Villers reported that Peter Wallace filled in for Peter while he was on vacation. New business. A discussion was held regarding the idea of security cameras for individual owners on the building. It was suggested that the owners submit a request to the board for approval prior to installing any camera to each building. Colleen Fletcher reviewed the 2020 operating and reserve budget in detail for the master in each cluster. A motion was duly made and seconded by Carol Bloodsworth to mail the budget to all owners for voting on October 17, 2019. All in favor? Motion approved. Comments were taken from the owner. The meeting was adjourned to 8:10. The next meeting will be October 17, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Colleen Fletcher on behalf of the Secretary of the Board.
Thank you. Do you have a motion to approve Board of Directors minute meetings as photocopied and presented? Have a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Committee reports. Ruby, did you want to give a report?
Yeah. We have one end cap that Petra has finished up on cluster 5.
Can you talk louder?
I'm sorry.
And this is the Beautification Committee.
Beautification Committee. Petra has one of the end caps finished up on cluster 5. So those are both done now because we won't touch the first one, but it's looking really nice. So tell her how nice it looks.
Right there.
I didn't see her.
And please don't shoot the messenger, but our insurance has looked at the tennis courts. Do you want me to?
We'll skip over that because I have a detail to go over with them.
Okay. Anyway, that's not going to be fun. Yeah. And then the state now requires posting on all of the buildings, so they'll probably talk about that too. And other things are kind of in process, so we're trying to get some things done. So if you have suggestions, and our next meeting will be 2 nights before our regular meeting here.
Every Tuesday of the week of our meeting.
Right.
What is it?
And what time is that?
Tell Jenna. Tuesday at
6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock.
I'm like,
It'll be like 2
The
days.
same week.
Before the-
So it'll be the third Tuesday of the month at 6, here in the clubhouse.
What's the date for Tuesday?
It changes every month. Next month, November's will be, hold on.
It'll be the 19th.
It's like it changes every month.
Okay, do.
Is that Thanksgiving? Okay.
Thank you. Can I add to that?
Sure.
Some of the other items that we went over were, obtaining new signs for the fire lane and no outlet. Carol's gonna obtain one more sign quote, and then we'll make a decision on that and present it to the board and the owners. I spoke with Peter already about running the fence line to pick up the debris around the exterior of the fence, and especially on the northeast side up to Burger King. Peter walked the entire community with Easy Joe 2 weeks ago, and she presented a list that he has to start attending to, which he has already started to work on. So Peter's going to be overseeing Joe. We also talked about identifying the dead shrubs and bushes that are throughout our clusters and community, and getting with Joe on a cost to pull them or cut down flat. It's better to see them pulled and out of sight than a dead bush in your face. Cluster directors we talked about the fact that cluster directors or somebody needs to get with the unit owners, the owners of the units that have broken pots out, dead plants in potted plants, faded plastic pots, and get that cleaned up. They also, Easy Joe wants to see them out of the lawn. If you're going to have a potted plant, which isn't really in our regulations, but we've let them go, you need to be responsible for that plant and take care of it. Don't set it in the lawn where people can trip on it or it be an eyesore, and then Easy Joe or whoever has to deal with trimming around it. And they also have to be nice to your eye. So I think that's it on the beautification. Did I miss anything, Petra?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
So, question. So if someone has something sitting outside that's
Hideous?
not, we can ask them to remove it?
Well, what I'm going to do is get signs posted around. Obviously, we're announcing it at the meeting tonight, and it'll be on YouTube. To clean up around your area, if you put something there, whether it be in the ground that you've been taking care of and decided not to maintain it anymore, get it cleaned up. So we actually, at one point, Ruby will remember, and Carol, we had a whole list of what plants were voted on per the community.
I still have the list.
Yeah, I have it here and I'll pass it out. But I think at our next meeting, we can bring this up and review it.
Okay.
I think that's it on the beautification committee. What about social? Nothing to report?
No Halloween party.
No Halloween party.
No Halloween party this year?
According to Doris, no Halloween.
Oh.
Well, they're having one down on Main Street in Bradenton, so, annual.
Gonna go get really scared.
I'm not going. Would you like to do your cluster report, Carol, cluster
Yeah.
one?
Like you said, there's a lot. For quite a while I walked around the outside looking at fascia, boards, and various things. So I walked with Island Maintenance and pointed out all the things that
I can't hear you.
Can you stand up and face them?
My cheerleader voice gone. I've cheerleaded for too many years and now I don't have a voice. I walked around with Island Maintenance outside and inside about minor things, the things that just haven't been attended to for I bet over 25 years maybe. But anyway, that's in the works. And things like, I know at Norm's, one of your downspouts isn't properly attached and, those kinds of things. And it needs a trailer to come on. Also, I have a dead palm tree inside our cluster, and that is scheduled to be taken down on the 25th of October. The reason it's taking so long is you have to go through the county and get permission, and they have to come out and verify that it's really dead. You have to have a permit, which costs $75.
For which one?
For what?
For a dead palm tree.
Yes. And I just real quick, not that anybody really probably cares too much, but the county used to only care about live oaks, and now they've done away with that. They don't care if you get a permit to remove an oak anymore. It's palm trees that they don't want you removing without a permit. So they changed their rules. It used to be that if you removed an oak, you'd have to put something back in its place. Well, now they're saying that if you remove a palm tree, you have to get a permit, and they want you to put something back in its place. So they kind of reverse the roles on us.
Yeah.
So trees, like oak trees, the root balls are bigger on oak trees. That's why they don't care about us getting rid of them, because they cause property damage. But palm trees' root balls are extremely small, so they figure that they're not going to cause hazard to your buildings. Therefore, they're a better option. Hence, why they want you to have them.
The reason they knew it was dying is it had, I don't know if you want to check out your palm trees, it had mushrooms. It's like a white mushroom that comes off the trunk between the ground and the tree. And that's an indication that it has disease and it has to be removed. So, anyway, that's it.
We'll do cluster 3 next. I'll do 2 and 5 since Nancy's not here at the end. Sharon?
Okay, we are gonna have our building power washed. I have had multiple quotes come in, so it will be in the near future. It looks terrible right now, so,
And it's under 2,000, so
and
she
it
doesn't
is
need
under
a board
2,000, but I
approval.
did get 4 quotes, just in case anybody was checking in on it. Also, unit 6142 on the beam replacement, I have 2 out of the 3 quotes, so that is in progress. Also, the carport repair on unit 6122 that was hit by Arctic Gear. I do have 2 quotes on this one, and they're both under 1,000. So, and I do plan on searching out Arctic Gear, but the last time I tried to reach out to them, I did speak to them at the time that it happened, but the last time I tried to reach out to them to give them pricing on this, the number was disconnected, so. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, Easy Joe needs to still take care of some of the weed issues in our cluster. I know that he did spray for weeds, and only due because of all the rain, which was why we had so many weeds to begin with. But
We have a
there
ton of
needs-
weeds.
there needs to be some hand pulling, even though we still got a lot of dead weeds, and it just looks terrible in the rocks. So,
What did he say about hand pulling? Did he say anything?
Well, first they got it sprayed.
Yeah.
And he really does have to hand pull.
yeah.
The bigger ones.
They did spray, and I see that they're dead now, but it just looks nasty in the rocks because of all the dead weeds. But, you know,
Yeah.
considering the amount of rain that we got, you have to understand that as well, so.
Yeah. Well, he should be, he's gonna finish Edna, and then he's.
Hopefully will
on
come over to us.
after.
Okay. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to go on.
Okay, thank you. Edna?
Well, we had 2 legs of our carport fixed from people running into them. And we've got some stairs that we're gonna have to get quotes on to get replaced. It's not like an emergency, but we do need to get them replaced. And other than that, we've just been having issues with some of our landscaping. Some of the bushes got so big that they actually fell over. Yeah, and so we're just dealing with that kind of stuff. And then we've got, we did turn on our heater today on the pool, and so we also have to gets the concrete around the pool kind of, looked at and repaired. But other than that, that's not all I have to say. We did have a leak in someone's ceiling, but it was from the rodents had gotten up in the ceiling and had eaten through some of the insulation.
The outside, the aluminum that's around the outside of the ductwork.
Yeah. So that's gonna have to be repaired. I think that's pretty much it for me.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and, cluster 4, I don't have anything to report. Cluster 2, Pest Shield, if they haven't already, they're gonna be placing 6 rat bait boxes over by the dumpster, between 2 and 6, because the rats are out of control. The northwest upstairs building, I can't think of the unit number, she's been having a problem with rats and they've been trapping. They're gonna follow up with her. But the buildings were sealed off to where the rats can't get in, because I talked to Chris this week. Cluster 2, I also walked your whole cluster, and we're gonna identify, or we already did, the south stairs are gonna be worked on first after we have an engineer draw up the plans. An engineer's drawn up plans for 5 and 2. We may see them out there next week. 5, they're gonna start on the east side and 2 on the south side. And I'll go over that in a minute, the prices on that. Cluster 2, should thank Jeff Marshall. He laid mulch down in your cluster. It was very generous of you, Jeff, and it looks very nice. There's a little bit left that needs to be done, and cluster 2 is gonna pitch in for that, their cluster. I think that's it, unless you have something else that you know of? No?
No, we just talked about it, we're getting together and trying to, we've been working pretty much for a long time, but, he's working on the back, I'm working on the front.
Okay, it looks nice.
Yeah.
It looks very nice.
We're trying to, it's cooler now again. It was too deadly for me to do anything this summer.
Yeah, it's warm.
Susan's gonna take care of the outside, I'm gonna worry about the inside as far as the mulch and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
She's gonna need more rock. We need to get it to look the same when somebody comes in and drives around the cluster, that we don't have 3 different styles of mulch out. So
Yeah,
we'll-
you can identify those sections, and then we can get him to bid it. So I'm gonna do 5 next. Did you have a question for 5?
Yes, how often does pest control check those rat boxes, those mud boxes?
They're supposed to be checking monthly unless we're having issues, they come sooner. I've already went over him with the rat boxes.
Yeah.
We've got the boxes between 4 and 5. We've got boxes on the north side of the fence, and now we have boxes there. Carrie also has boxes.
I have boxes.
We do too.
Okay, he's supposed to be checking them, and I told Chris, I said, Chris is Pest Shield, and Pest Shield was sold. Pest Shield is now a corporation, they're very
Yes.
hard to deal with. They're not a small company anymore, Carm died, but before that they sold
They
it.
had sold it, they sold it to Hughes, so they are a sub of Hughes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it has become more difficult, and the way that they do things is different than the way Pest Shield used to
Yeah.
do things. Like their work orders are different. They don't really list, like, because we started getting them, like, I don't use Hughes for Pebble Springs, what are they talking about? But
Yeah,
we
we
started
already
getting them.
nominated.
But we had no idea that they had even sold or switched, to be honest with you, so.
I mean, if you notice that they're not, if you don't
No,
think
the
they're.
reason I asked that is the other night, I went out to my car and I saw a rat go tear the liver out. And I knew it was a rat because I didn't see a bushy tail or, it was
Yeah.
out there for election. And I thought, oh, I hope that box is not full.
Well, I had a long conversation with him this week, and because I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
happy at
my-
all.
In all honesty, I mean, those boxes are right out in front of my place. I've never seen a guy do anything with those boxes.
I'll call
Since,
them again.
since those have been in there for the longest time, I have
They
not,
have been
so,
Yeah.
if, you know, do they come out in the morning, do they come out once a month, I have no idea, I can honestly
Okay, we're
tell you,
gonna
I've
find
never
out their
seen anybody.
schedule.
But they're very, pest control is very accommodating. I found, I had termites in my storeroom, and they were very scary.
How long ago, though? Recently?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay, well, that's good.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I
Yeah,
called
good.
them and they were out the very next day. Whatever happened to the fact that we used to spray around the outside, we used to spray in the inside, we used to do.
They don't do inside interior spraying, they only do exterior.
Okay, so they do
They
it
used to
quarterly.
do it once a month inside.
So they do
Quarterly.
quarterly exterior, and if you have an issue, you report it, and they'll come inside and they'll spray inside for you
Yeah.
if you request. That's how the contract's written.
But only at your request.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
Clearly outside.
I'm gonna go back to cluster 5. Where's my notes? I was so organized. Hold on one second.
What were you talking about, Mr. Matt?
H&P, the quote for the, yeah, anyways, I can do it by, memory. So the engineer came out to look at the east side of cluster 5 stairs. And we actually got a couple different bids. We got, one bid from Troy with 3B, and it was outrageous. They wanted $4,600 for the engineer just to walk the property. So that's off the table. H&P, which is Phil, they're a local engineer, and he does structural. He's, came up with a very good bid. The exterior stairs with concrete repair would be $750. The interior stairs that do not require concrete repair will be $500. And then any repeat plans will be $350 for the future. So that's a very good bid. So,
This is just the
That's
engineer
just
coming
to
out
rent the
looking at it?
plan.
no, this is the plans. This
That's
is
just to
plans.
draw the plans of
The other guy was just to walk it. These
Right.
are the actual plans.
Okay.
So he's gonna be working on plans for 5 and 2 right now, and then later address 6. Because it's not as an emergency,
So
but
who
5
pays,
and 2.
who's paying for the engineer? Is it coming out of each cluster's budget or is it out of the master?
No,
Since
it's
he's
coming
doing
out of the
most-
clusters that are having it done.
Yeah.
But what will happen is, because 5 and 2 are both the same exterior, you'll split the initial
Okay,
plans to make it fair.
okay.
Our fees are going up by $30, and that's $360 per unit, that's $12,000 a year.
We're
Now-
not on budgets right now.
When we get to that one.
We'll,
Well, I already looked at the budget, that's what Cluster 5 are gonna pay.
I understand that.
Now, is that for 1 year, or will our bills go down
I'll
next
go
year
ahead
after
and
that
let
April?
Colleen answer that, because she had the discussion with your director, which is not present today because of health reasons.
Are we skipping? Okay. Honestly, this is, at this point in time, the reason why it hasn't increased significantly is because of the stair replacement that we need to do. As long as something doesn't come up that would be such a large amount of money to repair, then I would first say that you could possibly go back down next year to a lower fee. And that the fee would be raised for just this year to get the work done that needs to be done. I can't make that promise though, because you never know what's gonna happen with the building, you never know. And 2, I don't know if anybody remembers this or not, but, where Kathy Joe used to live, the stairs right here, and you remember Ruby, we had water. The water was being held like a big bubble, like you could pop it, right? Well, now on the opposite side, it started to do the same thing. So, you know, we don't foresee these things happening. Every cluster is built differently. Every cluster is structurally different from the other one. There's no 2 clusters that are exactly the same. So to say that I could tell you 100% promise you that your fees would never ever, that they would go down, I couldn't say that and be comfortable saying that. Can I say that hopefully we can get the stair work done, hopefully we can get a lot of this work done, and then we can reduce your fees again? Yes, that would be the goal, not to continuously keep you at that higher rate. So-
Okay, I just wanna add to that, because, I mean, I was
Yeah.
gonna bring it up as well, Sheila beat me.
Yeah.
But I mean, in 2 years, we've gone up $55.
I know.
$55 is one hell of a jump for 2 years. When other clusters are going up $5 or $1 or whatever else, $55 is insane. And I mean, the fact that, and I'm sorry, I don't know, I don't remember, but it wasn't but a couple years ago when Ann was on the board, when Ann was our director, that she was doing stair work.
Yes.
So I'm confused, what the
It
hell
was
did
all
that
done
look?
incorrectly.
It was all patchwork.
So we just
It was
pissed
all
that
wasted
money
money.
away, huh?
Yeah.
Basically, I
Essentially.
mean, because that was the thing, we were.
All the Trex is coming up.
And that's why we are getting it done properly. The east side has to completely come off. You've got rotted wood all around the concrete.
Oh, I
Those
understand, I
stairs
see
are
it.
so unsafe, it's scary.
I saw it,
And
I
then
get
the
it.
south side, one of the owners keeps emailing me, and I don't blame her. They have issues too.
Mhm.
And I'm like, we have to prioritize. The east side has to be first.
Right,
There's a plan being put in place.
right. I understand, I get that.
So-
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
you know, it was just a
I
couple of
feel
years
for
ago,
you
we
guys.
went through a whole big stair.
unfortunately, some of that
And here
work
we are
done was
again.
bad.
It was not
It was
good work.
bad work.
And now it needs to all be replaced. Because now we've gotten to the point where it can't be fixed anymore. It has to come down, and in order for it to come down, it has to be put back to current code. And that's why we have to pay this engineer to come back to tell us what the current code's gonna be, you know?
And he's willing to keep it for future, and then just as we need them.
Right.
When cluster 4 needs a set of stairs, then it's gonna, you know what I mean? Then he already knows.
I
Right.
just think as far as those of us that are in cluster 5, we want it on the record or whatever else, somehow, some way, this has got to stop. We're gonna be at a doggone $500, who the hell's ever gonna wanna live here and pay that? I mean, that's insane. If
We're
anybody
trying to get the
wanted
work done
sell,
properly.
nobody would ever wanna
You
come
could
here and
have done
live.
an assessment, but your director chose to do the fees. So
I
we
get that,
had
but-
to abide by what what your director wanted. I mean, when she got.
Okay, then again, I'm gonna ask for it to be in the minutes or whatever else. When do we get a voice then? Is it just run by the director? I mean, the director gets to pull
The
the
director
shots
should
regardless
listen
of
to
what we
their
say.
owners.
Right.
Finish this?
Yeah.
Go ahead, what'd she say?
The director gets to make the decision as to how the funds are
So
allocated.
then it's up to us to be able to say to our director, we want a meeting and we want to be able to voice.
Yes, you can say that, yeah. You
Okay.
can call a cluster meeting, yes. Or you can ask if your director will come and have a cluster meeting with you specifically to discuss the issues that are going on in cluster
I
5.
mean, whoever the director is.
Right,
you
right.
know,
No, I'm just
whoever
saying,
the
in general.
director is, they're
Mhm.
supposed to be there on our behalf,
Absolutely.
not their
Mhm.
playground.
Correct.
Yes.
We agree with you.
Would you come with us?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And I'm sure Sharon would come as well. I'm volunteering her, but I'm sure she would.
That's fine.
I would come.
I just want it out there for, you know.
And I don't want
record.
cluster 5 to think I'm taking over it.
Oh, no, no,
I'm
no.
not trying to do that because I actually had to send Nancy an email today
Right.
to explain what's going on
Right.
with the stairs. And I have to, in my position as president, our whole community is liable
Right,
for hazards,
Exactly.
hazards everywhere.
exactly.
So we need to get them straightened out properly.
Okay.
So we're trying, and hopefully this year we can get your cluster can get most of the work done, and maybe it'll go down again. I've gone down in 4, and it was up high. So, but who knows?
It has gone down, it has gone up for some people, and then it goes down for some
Yeah.
clusters. It's been a roller coaster ride for some clusters, but some just have never gone up and really needed to be up. But you're right, yours has gone up significantly, and we do need to look into that as well.
Okay.
Just try to get when the directors have their work done, try to get the proper people doing it. do you remember when Bob, the one Bob guy?
Yes.
The older guy?
Yes.
He shouldn't have been touching nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So he did a lot of work over on your railings and stairs.
Yeah.
So, but
Okay.
that's in the past, you can only move forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna do master. We're having a lot of vehicles parking in fire lanes.
A lot.
And there's some people that are consistently parking in the fire lanes for whatever reason.
Pick a day.
Yeah, pick a day.
Yeah, some vehicles think they can just park in front of their
Other people's cars.
their place all day. So the cars are gonna start getting towed, and I'm sorry, but
Okay.
my phone blows up all day long with people in the fire lanes from people reporting, and I've held off we've been trying to be nice, say, can you please move, or whatever, but they're not doing it. So, they're gonna start getting towed.
So are you talking about like in cluster 6 along the entryway?
If
and
someone's
on the
parking
entry?
there all day, yeah, they've gotta move, they can't keep their car there, we could get cited, or if there was a fire, they can't get through. Well, we're on master, cause Ruby brought it up. The tennis court. We got, our insurance carrier, we got a letter that, we have to come into compliance. I bought us some time and had the tennis courts locked. To come into compliance, 2 different vendors, I don't have the quotes yet so far, but I'm gonna get another one.
You can rough estimate it.
2 different vendors have come up between 60 and 70,000 to repair the tennis courts. Well, not repair, they have to replace. It's so far gone, you cannot repair them.
Can't we just put benches in there and everybody sit?
What about a garden?
You know what my suggestion was, and we'll have to, what we're gonna do is we're buying time with the insurance company now. I sent her what she requested. She wanted to see our fire extinguisher. She wanted to see self-latching gate closers on the gates, which Peter just went through all the clusters and made sure everything's working properly this summer. To have everything removed and put in a lawn, picnic tables, a couple shade trees. It's still gonna cost just to remove everything. So,
what, I'm sorry, I didn't get it. What was your suggestion?
Put what there?
take the tennis courts out that no one plays on.
Right.
Right.
Works for me.
Turn it into lawn, couple shade trees and picnic tables. Not a dog park, we already have
I
enough
go
dog
for
parks.
that. I'll go for that because it's by the clubhouse, you know.
Yeah,
I think that
and then if they have picnics or whatever, maybe even think about some grills. And then when they have the outside
Maybe we can
event,
grow some of our own plants that we can plant by our.
like a community garden.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk more about that. We've bought time for now. It'll have to be a whole community vote. And that'll probably get put out at, the annual meeting. We'll vote then and send it out then. I mean, I just don't see 70 grand in our budget.
Yeah, that'll just be a one-time cost if we change it, right? And then what would the insurance be on that one? It's just a
Yeah, but you have to.
When it's
keep
just
up the
yards?
maintenance on it.
There'll be no insurance on it.
Yeah.
They won't care what we do.
Right.
It'll just be like general liability, like, you know, trip and fall hazard kind of thing.
It was funny because we just talked about that at our beautification committee 2 months ago, and then we got this email yesterday. I was like, oh wow.
So it's padlocked now, right?
Yes, Peter padlocked it today, and I thought I brought it out of order sign, but I'll find it. We're gonna move on to the adopting the budget. All the directors reviewed it and voted to mail it to the owners. The entire budget was mailed to all the owners. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the 2020 budget. Would someone like to make a motion to adopt the 2020 budget?
Is this the master?
All
So
of it.
all of it's being adopted at once.
It has to all be adopted at once. We went through this last month.
I move we adopted.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I did figure it out.
Aye. Our 2020 budget is adopted.
And the coupon booklets, I'll order them tomorrow, so you guys will get a head start getting them coming out.
At this time, we'll take questions or concerns. Anybody have any?
Yeah.
You want to be closer to director?
I like this answer.
No.
I could look into it. I asked somebody, even if there was like a cluster director for dummies guideline or something, where you know what
We
you're
have a class.
supposed to do, you know?
We have a
Because
class to teach you.
class,
Uh-huh.
you can take it without necessarily becoming a because
Sure, I
that's not
can
really
sign you
my
up. I
background.
can sign him up for it. Janet would let him do it. It's a good class.
But
Yeah.
my
Carol and
question,
I have taken it. Edna took it. I took it last month. Nisa took it. It's a great class.
but my question was really was when we're not represented for the last few months, something like this budget goes on, who, I know we're supposed to have an at-large, I guess that person.
Nisa's at large.
But he said something even last month about he wasn't even sure if he was the bona fide director of 6, let alone the at-large. So I was just curious, who represents a cluster like 2 when...
I've been overseeing
You
too,
have
Her and I.
with Colleen.
We've been doing it just to get you guys by, but it is better to have someone in your cluster who is there, working knowledge of what's going on. And I can sign you up. I think it's what, the first Tuesday of the month?
Yeah.
The first Tuesday of the month, every month, Janet Fernandez at CNS holds what's called a board certification class. And that class actually teaches you a lot about what being a board member is. So even if you graduated from it and you decided you still didn't want to be a board member, I'll let you keep your certificate. But, I mean, it's something you can attend if you're interested in doing so.
Interesting, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we can do that. I'm just, I'm not really qualified to do it probably.
Everybody's qualified.
But some is better than none is what I was.
Yeah, no,
should
it's
have
good. It would
somebody.
take a lot of pressure off me too. Yeah, yes ma'am.
Do we have a treasurer or who is acting as a treasurer?
We're gonna be appointing a treasurer at the next meeting.
It wasn't on our agenda for this evening. I'll go ahead and announce it though. At the next meeting, we are going to appoint Terry Lanning from Cluster 3 as the treasurer. She has been very active and helpful in making sure that all of our checks, because we do online check signing now, she's been active, getting online, helping us get our checks cut in a timely manner, so our vendors are not held up. So we feel that, it'd be a good thing for her to take over as a treasurer, since she's got a good working knowledge of the computer system and doing a great job at helping us out. Sharon, all your checks take 2 signatures, so Sharon goes over them. She reallocates a lot of stuff for me, but Terry also backs it up. So you have 2 people always looking at it at all times. So, we can't appoint her tonight because it's not on the agenda, but she would be who we're looking at appointing next month.
And I do double check every single check that I accept.
She
Make
won't
sure
sign it.
that it's coming out of the right budget, because otherwise there's no way I'm gonna sign it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Jenna?
I just want to ask a question regarding the budgets. When I'm looking at cluster 1 and cluster 5, the electricity, and I guarantee you it's got to do with the heater of the pool.
Yeah.
Now that cluster 6 has got their heater pool, they're nowhere near, they're half the budget of us. Are they not gonna have a problem?
It might go
I know,
up.
but this is for
I don't know
next
how
year.
much they're gonna heat their pool though. That all depends on how much they heat it, how often they
Right.
turn the heater
No, I
on.
understand, but this is for next year. This
How
is the
long you
budget
heat
for-
it, like when you start your heater.
Different clusters heat their pool different ways. My personal opinion is, if you have a heated pool, you shouldn't heat it when it goes below a certain degree, because you're just wasting energy. It's not gonna do anything for your pool. But every cluster does it differently. So we may, after 2020, we may say, hey, look, your electric bill's going up because of this. But right now, I wouldn't even be able to gauge, because I don't know when she's gonna turn her pool heater on, when she's gonna turn it off,
Right.
what degree she's gonna keep it
I
at.
mean, I don't know what Carol does, I mean,
I don't
most
either.
of us, we're turning it on like either October, November, or we turn it off like April or May.
You don't turn yours on until what, January, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I have a temperature gauge and
Yes,
look at
Mary?
it.
yeah.
Going back to the steps and the walkway, do you have a certain time for that stuff going to be done?
As soon as I have the engineer drawings, then I can go to another contractor that I have lined up to walk the property. And then we'll have scheduled, but until I have the plans in my hand, and he said it would take at least 2 weeks, we'll probably be out the beginning of next week to do whatever we have to do to get the drawings prepped before he goes back and draws them. And then after that, we'll know more. So I can't give you an answer yet. As soon as I have drawings in hand.
That's when we can get the proposal started for repairs.
Yeah, well, we're walking through your,
I know,
On the
that's
walkway.
that's a terrible situation with that. You
There
know what
was-
I'm talking about, the carpet over there?
Yeah, I know,
The lack of carpet?
yeah, the lack there of carpet, yeah.
I hate to even put paint down on it, because then you're just gonna have to scrape it up or whatever they're gonna have to do.
He wouldn't paint, yeah, even
Oh.
Sureway said he wouldn't put paint on it right now the way it is.
They actually need waterproofing. Didn't you get a quote from him? He sent a quote.
Not to me, like, from this to you. I didn't get it from him.
I have one other question.
I got Troy.
I know I had asked Colleen before about a particular unit, 5946.
Uh-huh,
Did you ever send a letter to them or issues or whatever?
yep,
Did you ever get a response or hear anything?
nope,
So,
that's the pool people, right?
pardon me?
Pool?
No, this is Laura with the children in there, the
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah, okay, yep.
Well, the dogs are still running around unleashed. They
Okay.
run out onto 7th Avenue to do their business and run back. I've already walked one of them back to her. She tells me that, you know, she opened the door and the dog darts out and, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right,
The kids, we still have, I mean, I don't know who all lives there. Now I'm under the impression heard, the bug man was there the other day and said it is the worst infestation of cockroaches he's ever seen.
Oh, no.
Yes.
So,
That-
I mean,
there-
it's like, I just don't know where this unit is gonna end up affecting all of us, is what my
I
concern
mean,
is.
it's totally out of control. I mean, the screen door is busted, the screen is busted out of the door.
Well, she should get
I
cited
mean,
for that.
it's really, it looks like a homeless camp.
When
It really does.
I asked Colleen about it last time, she had commented about maybe looking into eviction. I don't know where any of that is.
I have to,
And there's a lot of people living in that condo.
I mean, we don't know who, I mean, my point is, I don't know who is supposed to live there. You know what I'm saying? There's a daughter, she's pregnant, there's 2 other children, there's a boyfriend there, there's this, I don't know. There's in and out constantly.
There's just,
And I'm
What
sure,
is the unit number?
sure they have nobody that up there.
Yes, she has company that comes in that goes between the people at 5902 and Laura, you know,
5964,
and
No,
they
no,
got
5946.
thank you, I said it back.
And 5902, I mean, 5902 is good, they listen. But the company that visits 5946 also comes over here, and it's like a back and forth all weekend. And, I mean, there's no,
My concern just when, the whole thing about the bugs, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
where do bugs go? They go in the walls,
Yeah, they
they
do.
go in the roof, you got a building. You know,
Yeah,
where are
you're
they going?
combined, yes.
They're
They're
gonna,
going to your other neighbors.
exactly.
Well, they're supposed to
And then
take
what's
care of
gonna
the
happen
property
one
in
day,
sanitary
the next
condition.
thing is gonna be on the budget, we have to have a building tented because of an infestation.
he said they're coming out of the woodwork.
Oh,
He
no.
told me. He said, when you go in there, it's unreal.
They're probably German cockroaches.
I think they need to go back to Germany.
I just emailed Nancy while we were sitting here to see if she wants me to turn this over to the attorney.
You
Okay?
know what? I think the health department should go in there.
Well, they won't usually go in. I mean,
Pardon me?
the health department normally won't go in.
Why?
It's, you can call DCF if you want to. You can call.
Because I don't know who those people are, and they're small children.
Yeah, you can call, that's fine. I'm not telling you not to, yeah.
Kids, and then kids that have kids. and-
The health department's much different from DCF. DCF would step in a lot quicker than the health
And they
department.
saw that mess.
The boyfriend comes over and the little ones, like maybe 2 years old and under, he gets them up, rolls them in the pool, I mean, it's constant.
Which is true, I mean, it's,
And
we're not talking just
Not like
this.
tossing them in,
We're
yeah.
talking a toss.
Throwing,
Wow.
right,
And then they're saying, help me, and he's just standing there watching the struggle to get to the side of the pool.
Oh, well, that shouldn't be allowed.
No, call I mean, DCF, the police department, yes, that would be the people that you would reach out to. The county is probably not gonna do much about, like, going in. The
As far as
DCF definitely
As far
will.
as the health department,
They don't. It has to affect other neighbors, as in they have to smell it, you have to smell it from that kind of thing. They're kind of odd about it. They don't like to get involved, but DCF has no issues getting involved. That I will tell you.
well, like I said, I get concerned that it's a problem that's here, and at some point it's gonna get here, and then it's gonna be a cost. It's gonna be a major
Exactly.
cost.
Well, if you feel
City.
that it's a health reason to the children, then we should do what anybody should do.
Yeah.
So, any other questions from the owners? Don?
What's the status on 6358? I see lights on at different times.
It's still with an attorney. He moved somebody in.
Yeah.
Gettle moved somebody in before Kathy Jo left. It's with an attorney, and the bank is foreclosing on him. I think he was served papers. It's in the works. The bank is now foreclosing on him, so he'll be out of there soon. I mean, as soon as the bank finishes their process.
Everyone will be out of there soon.
Yeah, because they'll evict everybody in there. The bank will, and then they'll sell it. If there's no more questions, then the next meeting will be
Sure someone else will.
November 14th at 6:30. Thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank you.
November 14th. It's the third Thursday. Wait, no, that's not right.
November the 19th.
What are you looking at here?
21st, 19th.
The 21st,
There you go.
November 21st. Thank you.
6:30.
Yeah.
6:30, yep.